When is it the best time to buy a house in Calgary? Now, this is a question my clients ask me all the time, and to answer that, it really depends on what a good market means to you. So, for some of my clients that ask that, they're trying to figure out when home prices are the lowest, when they have the most negotiating room, and when they can get the best deal possible. For other clients that ask, they're asking with the intention of figuring out when will they have the most variety, when will they have the most option of homes. And the last group of people that ask that question are trying to figure out what's a good mix, what's a good combination of those two aspects. So today, we're going to go through what the best time to buy a home is for all three of those categories. So the first step is to identify and define what a good buyer's market means to you. So does that mean it is lower prices and more negotiating room? Does that mean you have more options of homes to look at? Or are you just trying to get some combination of those two so it's more well-rounded? So let's start with the people trying to get the best deal on price. So the statistic you want to look at if you're trying to have room to negotiate is the number of sales. So if the number of sales is down, that is a good thing for you because that means that less people are buying, so the sellers have less options, meaning they're usually more willing to negotiate with you. This gives you, the buyer, power. Okay, so let's start off by looking at the graphs for the sales numbers. So starting in 2018, I'll put them somewhere here. So 2018, as you can see, January and December are the lowest amount of sales. And this makes sense. The reason being, nobody wants to move during this time. When you think about it, it's like the holidays, it's like Christmas, New Year's, it's cold outside, no one's trying to move a couch in -20. No one's trying to drive a big moving truck on snowy roads. It makes sense. So this is the time where sellers will be more willing to negotiate on price because they have less offers coming through. There's not as much interest at this time because if you don't have to buy a home, most people are not looking. Looking at 2019, you see it's pretty much the exact same thing. January and December are the lowest sales months of the year. And as you can see, May, June, and July, April, May, June, July, August are the hottest months of the year. This shows you that one, the spring market is a very real thing, and two, the time when it's most convenient to move, which is when it's warm, when people have more time, that is the worst time to buy if you're looking to get a good deal on a house. It takes away the leverage you have to negotiate. So when will you have the most options of homes? The statistic you want to look at here is the number of new listings. The more listings on the market, the more options you have to look at. So it's simple as that. Let's look at the stats. Okay, so now looking at the charts, you can probably see that it is almost the exact opposite of the last one. So April, May, June are typically the months where there's the most inventory. It's early spring market, people are excited, the weather's getting nice, they want to move during this time, it's ideal. So that is when the most listings hit the market. And this is typically when homes will cost the most. And as we look back at January and December, you can tell that those months have the least amount of inventory. So looking at 2019, it's a little bit different. There's definitely more new listings in January than normal, but it still follows the same thing. March, April, May, June, those were the peak months for new listings. So as we can see, typically the best time to buy homes for people that want more options is in the spring, between April and June. But the problem with this is that's when everyone else is looking. So you'll have the most competition, typically prices will be higher around then, and you'll have to act faster because it's typically more of a seller's market. Now I just want to go over when the best time to buy is if you want a combination of these two. Now this is just my opinion based on sort of like what happens in real life and looking at the trends and the graphs and numbers and stuff like that. It's obviously a very difficult thing to identify because there's never a perfect time that captures both of these different aspects perfectly. The conclusion I've come up with is that September is the best time to buy if you want to capture both markets. And the reason for this is because, well, when a seller lists their home with a real estate agent, typically the contract lasts 4 months. So anybody that listed late trying to capture the spring market or the summer market, so people listing in June, they'll still be in contract until the end of September. So what this means is anyone that didn't really sell during those months will still be on the market. So there will be more listings still on the market compared to other times of the year. But buyers typically also fade off around September because their kids are going to school, they're going back to work, life is getting busy again, and they're just not thinking about buying a home anymore. So with less buyers and still a decent amount of inventory on the market, I just think this is the best time. Like, in my head it makes sense that this would be the best time to capture a little bit of both markets. I really think it's important for you to identify what is most important to you, whether that's saving money and being able to negotiate or having more options. And obviously that depends on what your real estate goals are. So if you're looking to buy a house for you and your family to move into, it's probably more likely that you'll be interested in having more options and being able to find that dream home. Whereas if you're an investor, you may want to take advantage of the cheaper prices because that will help you get a bigger return. You're trying to get the best deal, you're trying to earn money, and typically you don't really care what the property looks like because it's an investment. You're not going to be living there, you're doing this for the money. That's just my opinion. I hope this video provided some value to you and gave you some insights into sort of what happens in the Calgary market. So for a conclusion, the best time to buy if you want the best deal is December and January. That's when typically you have the most negotiating room with sellers. The best time to buy if you want the most options of homes is in the spring, so that would be like April to June. And for the combination, which I came up with, I think September is probably the best time to buy. My name is Zach Schultz. I'm with the Live Inner City Real Estate team. We'd be happy to help you, more than happy to help you. If you have any questions related to real estate, feel free to drop a comment or send us an email. My email will be down below. And if you could please hit the subscribe button and hit the like button, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I look forward to talking to you in the next video. Take care. Have a great day.